The MLA International Bibliography offers a detailed bibliography of journal articles, books, and dissertations. Produced by the Modern Language Association, the electronic version dates back to the 19th century and contains over 2.3 million citations. The coverage is truly international and includes titles from JSTOR's language and literature collection as well as links to other full-text databases. Before we just do a search, let's take a look at some of the tabs. Thesaurus is a very handy feature in this database. Because there are no abstracts, keyword searching is sometimes a little frustrating. And so this will show you some of the official search terms that the indexers use when creating the database. For example, let's use the term crime fiction. In browsing the terms, you can see that does come up as an official search term. If you click on it, it will show you broader terms and also narrower terms and related terms. Suppose you're interested really in English crime fiction. You can click on English crime fiction, click on search, and now you will have two results for English crime fiction alone. Let's go back and we'll show you how to do a search that makes your search broader. If you go to English crime fiction and click explode and click search, now it's taken all of those related terms and put them into your search screen and brought up 798 results. The next tab that you'll see is the MLA Directory of Periodicals. This is simply a listing of directors in the area of languages and literatures. This would be helpful mainly if you're trying to see the worth of a journal, or perhaps if you are interested in publishing someday. This will give you details on the publication and how to submit something to it. For example, this one has a scope of writing across the curriculum. It's written in English. It's published by Colorado State University. And it's a relatively new journal and is not actively indexed. Let's go back and look at a journal that might have a little more substance. Accents on Shakespeare. This one is published about Shakespeare. It is actively indexed. It gives you the address for the editors, submission details, number of copies. However, this is not peer-reviewed, so if you're looking for a peer-reviewed journal, this would not be suitable. This is not something you'll use very often, but it's helpful to know what it's about. Another thing that you might find helpful is names as subjects. If an author uses a pseudonym, sometimes if you search under the pseudonym, you won't find as much as if you search under the author's real name. So, for example, let's look at Saki. And it tells you that if you're searching for Saki, use H.H. Munro. That gives you information about him, his national literature, and the literary period in which he wrote. So if you went back to search and put in Hugh Hector Munro, you'll probably get more options. So a search for Saki. Produces 61 results, but that might include Saki as a name for someone else. If you click on subject and limit it to Monroe, and update your search, now you only have 45 results. But let's go into this and do a full search with him as your main subject. And you can see that there are actually 5 more results. So this is very helpful if you are searching for someone who doesn't always write under his real name. The other thing that you might find helpful is indexes. And for example, if you want to see something in a different language, let's see how many articles are written in Slovenian. As you can see, we have 8,248. So if you check Slovenian and do a search, it brings up all those Slovenian articles. This will be helpful if you're doing research in Spanish or French or some other language and you only want to see things written in those languages. You could also go in and put in other search terms, of course. Now let's go back and simply do a routine search. And we'll go into advanced search, which is highly recommended in this database because it does offer a few limiters beyond the normal databases. So you can limit to a particular language. In this case, I'm going to limit to English. I'm going to say I only want to see books. And I want to see 19th century. And I'm going to put in Dickens. Now, this is a large database, so sometimes it takes a while to have your results come up. Simply be patient. All right, I have 527 results. And as usual, there are the usual EBSCO limiters. If I want to see only the things that are available in Reeves Library, I could always make that thing, and we have nothing. So let's go back and say, I really want to see a biographical approach. And any subject you see over here will be available. That brings it down to 12 items. And since we know none of those are in Reeves Library, we could order those for you using Interlibrary Loan. Let's take a look at the entry. As you can see, there's no abstract. However, it does have contents. It tells you the subject literature, the literary period in which he wrote, the primary author, the genre, and also a few subject terms. But as you can see, because this is not full text and because there's no abstract, keyword searching here would be a little more difficult than in some of the other databases. Let's go back though and search for Dickens, and we'll do a new search and we'll make it a little broader. And we do want to go to advanced search. And this time we're going to look for a peer-reviewed journal. Again, we're going to limit it to English. Period is when he wrote. This time we want to only see peer-reviewed journals. Now we have quite a number of results, 2,373. And just to show you how full text works. If I include linked full text and do an update, now I only have 288, so you're only getting about 10% of the total results. So you're limiting yourself quite a bit when you go into linked full text. Let's take a look at this. And again, you do have subject terms, you have your document type. And one thing that's important when you're searching for journals is if you were searching for something and you needed to get it on interlibrary loan, right here you have the ISSN number, which is helpful, and you have the accession number and the database. All of those are very useful when requesting an interlibrary loan, in addition to the date of the publication, the title, the author, and the title of the article.